and on end nonetheless. 15 years ago, at the height of the Cold War, a Russian army officer, Stanislav Petrov, was watching his computer screen when it suddenly registered American nuclear warheads heading east. But instead of panicking, he decided it was a false alarm, and his action may have averted a nuclear showdown. From Moscow, Alan Little reports.
The system was known as mutually assured destruction, or MAD, and it was deemed to have kept the peace in Europe for half a century by making war so devastating as to be unthinkable. Deterrence through the balance of terror. Each side had stockpiles of thousands of missiles carrying nuclear warheads targeted on their opponent's cities. An attack from either side would be detected by computerized surveillance and immediately trigger a devastating counterattack. But the system did not take account of one dangerous possibility: computer error. Stanislav Petrov, now a retired army officer, was a software engineer in the Soviet armed forces. On September the 26th, 1983, he was on duty at a surveillance center near Moscow. That night, he says, the world approached the abyss of nuclear Armageddon.
Suddenly, the screen in front of me turned bright red. An alarm went off. It was piercing, loud enough to raise a dead man from his grave. And the computer showed that the Americans had launched a nuclear strike against us. After the first alarm came a second, then a third. The atmosphere couldn't have been more tense. I had to make a decision fast. I knew the system could be at fault, so I decided to report this as a false alarm. As I did so, a fourth rocket showed up on the screen, then a fifth, and then everything went quiet.
Stanislav's orders were that he should pass the information up the chain of command to the General Secretary of the Communist Party, at that time Yuri Andropov. Stanislav's duty was to begin the process that only minutes later would have launched a massive nuclear retaliation by the Soviet Union. Intuitively, he knew the alert to be a computer error. He decided to disobey procedure. That single split-second decision broke him. He had been a promising young army officer, several times decorated and quickly promoted. But the computer error, when it was reported, triggered a massive inquiry in the army, and Stanislav was not rewarded, he was blamed. Stanislav took early retirement from the service and suffered a nervous breakdown. His courage and quick-wittedness prevented disaster, but cost him his health, his job, and his peace of mind. Alan Little, BBC News, Moscow.